there everyone, welcome to my final race of the iRacing season, and boy have we saved the best until last. Formula iR-04 at Hockenheim, and this is an absolute cracker. I've been waiting weeks for a proper and thrilling battle at the front of the pack, and I've finally got my wish. iRacing has delivered big time here. And it's not going to come easy for us either, because we've qualified down on the 6th row of the grid. We're starting from 11th, but look at those lap times. There's only half a second between us in 11th and the driver in 3rd, Thomas Drum. So the stage is set for a right tear up here at Hockenheim, and it's going to go to the wire. There's going to be drama right up to the checkered flag. So strap yourselves in for this one. This is going to be intense. Let's get down to the grid and pick up the live action. And it looks like the driver who's qualified in 10th has elected to start from pit lane, because there is a gaping hole to the right on the grid, and that is really going to work in our favour. Turn 1 at Hockenheim can be really tricky, but there's going to be one less car trying to squeeze into that inside line, so we should be able to get through relatively safely, and we have done. Alessandro Garelli behind got an even better run through. He's alongside, and there's a huge accident to the left. I had no choice there but to ease off the gas. That car was barrel rolling. It could have gone anywhere. And there's 3 more cars getting tangled up in the rearview mirror. There's absolute carnage at turn 2. Well, this race has wasted no time in springing to life. We got through turn 1 safely, and then it all kicked off. That car barrel rolling down the straight was insane. It could have landed anywhere. Thankfully, it didn't roll into the track, and we were able to get by safely. So we're all in one piece, and we're approaching the hairpin for the first time. This could quite often cause mayhem as well. Let's hope we all get through here safely. We have done. Antonin Doe was just having a sniff up the inside there into the hairpin, but we had the pace on exit, so we've been able to hold on to the position. And I've got no idea what that position is at the moment, but we've got to be inside the top 10 now. Oh, there might be a chance for another one here. We could dive up the inside of David Rivero. I was in 2 minds on whether to go for that overtake. It's not the easiest corner to sneak up the inside, but there was a gap there and we took it. Rivero is trying to have a look back up the inside, but he's going to think better of it as we approach the stadium section for the first time. So that tussle has cost us a little bit of time. Garelli's opened up a bit of a gap ahead. Meanwhile, behind, it looks like Doe is making a move up the inside in that left-hander, so he's got around Rivero too. And it's given us a bit of breathing room behind, so I'm grateful for that as we work our way around these final 2 turns to finish lap 1, and I can't wait to see what position we're in. We've got to be inside the top 10, but how far up are we? All eyes to the relative board, and we are in 8th. So yeah, we've done extremely well out of that first lap, and it was absolute chaos. Let's go back and check out the replays to see what went down. And it looks like 4 or 5 drivers elected to start from pit lane. All of them would have lined up on the inside. So look at the gaping holes there. That really helped us out, because we're going to go into turn 1 unchallenged. Look, no cars on the inside whatsoever. We all get through safely. But it doesn't take long at all for it to all unravel. Antonin Bonello gets launched into orbit there after locking wheels with the number 2 car, Luca Colombi. And that is one of the biggest accidents I have ever seen in iRacing. On board with Bonello now. Hold on to your hats for this one, because this is going to get brutal. If you've ever wondered what it's like to be stuck inside a tumble dryer, this is probably it. And while Bonello is barrel rolling down the straight, there was even more mayhem going into turn 2. Watch that yellow number 5. He's just going to have a look up the inside. But there's already another driver having a look up the inside of him. That's Daniel Di Stefano, the number 8. All 3 cars collide, and then Di Stefano gets speared into a 4th car. Meanwhile, when things had settled down, we were able to tuck it up the inside of David Rivero, and that put us up to 8th. Back to the live action now as we work our way through the stadium section for the 2nd time towards the end of lap 2, and we're visibly getting closer to Alessandro Garelli, the driver in 7th. A good run through this final turn might see us get close enough to challenge, but no, Garelli's really fast on exit. Antonin Doe still right behind in 9th. He's within half a second, so we've got no time to rest here as Garelli throws it into T1 way too aggressively. He's off. So Garelli's gone, and we're up to 7th. Yeah, watch Garelli's tyre. He just clips the grass as he tries to take every inch of that curb, and as soon as it touches the dirt, he's a passenger. Halfway through lap 3, we're about 1 second behind the drivers in 5th and 6th, Chang Wen-Zhu and Diogo Silva, but the two of them battling really hard. That's Zhu in the green car taking a look up the inside. He's not quite close enough to get his nose ahead, and that costs them both speed on exit. We're now right on Zhu's tail. In fact, we have to get off the gas because we got too close to him and there was no way through. We're going to have a little look up the inside. Can we squeeze by into this fast right-hander? No, we can't. We have to get off the gas again, and that has invited Antonin Doe to challenge, so we're going to have to go defensive into this turn. We don't want Doe sneaking up the inside. But look at that Red Bull in the rearview mirror. His rear is sliding all over the place. Doe is pushing hard here. He wants this 7th position. Hopefully we can get a smooth run through these final 2 turns. Get on the gas early onto the start and finish straight. I want to be far enough ahead of Doe so that he's not tempted to make a lunge up the inside into T1. I think we're far enough ahead, so let's throw it into the turn ourselves. Get on the gas early, use as much of the curb as we can. Well, we've jumped forward a few corners now on the approach to the hairpin, and I didn't think about defending here. I thought I was far enough ahead of Doe, but look how late he is on the brakes. He's going to move up the inside, and this is our old-fashioned block pass. We have to get out of our turn at the very last minute to avoid contact. In fact, there was still contact, but not enough to register an incident point. A 0x for that one. So Doe is up to 7th. We're down to 8th. But keep your eye on the 2 cars in front of Doe. Zhao and Silva still battling hard, and Zhao in the green car is going to lose the rear on the exit of that left-hander. So within a couple of corners of us surrendering 7th position, we've got it back. But yeah, really clever pass this one from Doe. He left it until the last possible second to pull out and make that move, but he got on the brakes really hard, held the line, and it's a clean pass. A couple of corners later, Zhao just gets a bit excited on the exit of this turn and spins the rear around. Well, we've just seen Zhao crash out at that tricky turn 8, trying to challenge Diogo Silva, and then the very next lap, Silva crashes out in exactly the same spot. You can just see him in the foreground, the red car, throwing that rear around, and that gives us another position. We're up to 6th. And it looks like Silva lost that rear before he'd even made it to the apex of that corner. Towards the end of lap 6 now, we're not letting Doe get away. We're still right on his tail, but we just can't close in those final couple of tenths to get the opportunity to make a pass. However, we have lost another driver in front. The yellow flags are out, and it was the driver in 3rd place. Jochen Gehrig carrying the number 1 plate, but he has binned it at the final corner, and that puts us into a top 5 position. However, we might not have that top 5 position for long, because look in the rearview mirror, Pascal Marx is closing in fast. Marx was a couple of seconds behind a lap ago, but he's gained 1 second on that last lap, and he's right on our tail now as we come out of turn 2 through turn 3 to start the charge down the Parabolica. And there's some real extra speed to be found through this section if you can just pick up a draft. We're only half a second behind Antonin Doe, so let's try and stay in his path here. Look at him, he's swerving over to the right, back to the left. He wants to break this slipstream, but we're going to try and stay right behind him and pick up every extra MPH that we can up, and we've taken our eyes off the ball. We were so focused on getting a toe from Doe, we didn't even think that Pascal Marx was getting a toe from us, and he's made a move up the inside into the hairpin, so Marx has taken that 5th position. We're back down to 6th. Well, I really didn't want to give that place away as easily as I did do, but you know what, it might just work in our favour. We know that Pascal Marx is faster than us, so he might be a bit better equipped to really put the pressure on Antonin Doe in 4th. We weren't quite able to get close enough to Doe to really crank up the heat, but I think that Pascal Marx can do. Look how much of the curb he's using as we approach the stadium section. Fast on the gas on the way out, perhaps a bit too fast because he's on the grass. Is he going to be able to rejoin? We're going to sneak by again, so we're back up into 5th position. Well, that didn't play out at all how I expected it. I thought that Marx was going to apply the pressure on Doe and force Doe to make a mistake. It was the other way round. Let's go back a couple of laps and see what caused Jochen Gehrig to spin out of 3rd place. He lost it on the final turn, and he took a big whack from Adam Turner behind him 4th. Turner got promoted to 3rd, but it looked like he picked up some front wing damage. So will Turner be able to keep that car on the track? We'll have to see. But then fast forward half a lap, we're trying to get into the draft of Doe, but we completely forget about Pascal Marx behind, who pulls out of the draft to take my position. However, at the stadium section, he pushed just too hard, gets onto the grass. I was worried he was going to rejoin, but instead he took the long route. Well, Marx's excursion to the grass gave us a little bit of respite, but sadly it didn't last for long because by the end of lap 9, he was right back with us as we approached the stadium section. Doe is 0.7 of a second in front, but look how close Marx is, so I'm going to decide to defend this and send him around the outside to see if I can hold on to this position. Oh, and he got on the gas really early out of that corner, right into the back of me, gave me a tap there. That's unsettled me just a little bit. We've got to try and get our composure back and hold our line through these final 2 turns. It was a little bit messy. We took a bit more of the curb than I would have liked to, but yeah, let's get our composure back, settle down. And it looks like Diogo Silva is joining the fight as well. Silva is all over Marx now, so with a bit of luck, Silva might challenge Marx, and that'll give us a bit of breather room. Look, they're side by side coming down the long straight towards D2. Oh, we get a little bit loose on entry. That rear step down, we managed to save it, but that is going to cost us a lot of speed on exit. Meanwhile, behind, Silva has got around Marx and he's carrying a lot more speed than us down the Parabolica thanks to that smoother run through T3. I don't fancy our chances of holding on to this position here. We've got no choice but to defend. I think Marx will still have the pace to get past us on the outside. All we can do is hold as tight a line as possible here. We don't want to drift into the wide line and cause contact. We've got through okay, but yes, Silva has made the pass. Thankfully, Marx didn't follow him through. I was worried I might lose 2 positions there in one swoop, but we paid the price for losing the rear on the entry into T2. We managed to hold on to it and not spin, but it cost us so much speed through that section and we weren't able to carry the pace that we needed down the Parabolica. Look, now we've got Marx all over us again. So lap 10 could go from bad to worse here because I sense that Marx is going to make a move. I think we'll go defensive into this left-hander again. It worked the last time. Marx has got no choice but to go to the outside. However, this time he's sticking with it. He's going to stay on the gas. We're side by side through this kink. Oh, this is close and we're still side by side. He's going to have the inside into the penultimate turn and that gives him the position through the final corner. We've lost 2 places on this lap. So it's now Silva in 5th, Marx in 6th, and we're in 7th. Wow, that was an exhilarating battle through the stadium section. Sadly, we came out on the wrong end of it. I decided to take the defensive line because it worked a couple of laps earlier. However, Marx stayed on the gas, looking at using every inch of the track, was side by side, and he gets his nose in front. He's got the inside line for the penultimate turn, and he makes the pass stick. Incredible battling at Hockenheim. So let's get back to the live action. We're halfway through lap 11 and Silva is making a move up the inside of Doe into the hairpin. There might have been a little bit of contact because all 3 cars have concertinaed together. There's a complaint from Doe already in the race chat. Tempers are boiling over here. But if these guys are getting frustrated with each other, that might well work in our favour. Let's keep an eye on them. Doe is going to make a move up the inside. Oh, he's T-boned Silva and they're both off. Silva's upside down in the fence. I think Doe managed to save it. Yes, he did. Keep it facing in the right direction, but we've made 2 positions back and we're in 5th again. Well, this is the move from Silva that upset Doe so much. Silva making a move up the inside. To be honest, it looks like he's made it cleanly enough. There's a little bit of contact there. Maybe Silva ran a little bit wider on exit than he could have done. There's the contact right there. That's what annoyed Doe. But was the next instant retaliation or was it just an aggressive move? It looks like it was an ambitious move up the inside that flips that red car onto its roof and into the barrier. On board with Doe then, he spots the gap so he goes for it, but unfortunately Silva's already committed to the apex and 2 into 1 don't go. That puts us back into 5th position.
One flag.
Well, there's 1 more lap to go. I don't think my heart can take 1 more lap of this race. It's been absolutely bonkers, but we do find ourselves back in a top 5 position, so we've got 1 lap to hold on to it. What can we do? I certainly don't think we've got the pace to catch up with Pascal Marx. I reckon he's got that 4th position sewn up, but it all depends on what Antonin Doe has got behind. We've got 0.5 of a second on him at the moment as we exit this section and come down the Parabolica. Hopefully we're just far enough ahead not to give him any draft, because you just know that if he's within striking distance when we get to this hairpin, he's going to go for it. The adrenaline's probably still pumping from that instant with Silva. But he's not quite close enough yet. It's still half a second, so he's not gained, but he's going to give it a go up the inside. We didn't defend, but hopefully we've got enough pace around the outside to hold on to it. We're side by side, but we do just have enough grunt to get out of that corner a bit quicker, so we've held on. But we can forget about any ideas of having an easy last half a lap because Doe is all over us. We're going to have to take the defensive line into this left-hander and block off any possible way through. Our tighter line will compromise our exit speed slightly, and so will clip in the curb on the inside. So that's going to give Doe a little bit of an advantage, 0.2 of a second. So again, we're going to have to move to the inside and try and shut off any possible way through. And I think we're going to have to defend again into this turn. Let's just hope that Doe doesn't do what Marks did and keep his foot planted on the gas pedal. Oh no, it looks like he is. We're side by side again. Doe's flat out. He's going to have the inside line, and we're going to lose this position at the last turn unless we grit our teeth and keep it pinned. And it looks like we've got it done. We come out of the final turn in front of Doe. I thought we'd lost it when he had the inside line into the penultimate corner, and we've held on to 5th place. What a finish. Well, what a finish indeed. This was Doe's first attempt to get around us at the hairpin. He came from way back, got on the brakes really well, but thankfully we just had the pace around the outside to hold him off. Then we get to the stadium section. I go defensive. I was hoping he wouldn't keep it pinned, but it's the last lap. He's going to do everything he possibly can. He's side by side, and at this point, he's got the position. Look, we are done, and instead we keep it planted as well, right around the outside, and we hold on. What an exhilarating finish to the iRacing season, and we get a nice iRating boost as well, at plus 61. Even the safety rating benefited from that. We're up to 2.78. Oh wow, I don't know what you guys think, but I reckon that's got to be my best race of the season. We've saved the best until last, and when you get a race like this, it reminds you why you love sim racing. That was fantastic. Okay, let's take a check of the classified results, and there we are in 5th place. So that's another iRacing season done and dusted, and what a crazy ride it's been. Thank you so much for following me on my journey, and I really do appreciate you taking the time to watch the videos. And if you want to see a completely different race, I'd recommend you check out my recent Porsche Cup outing at Laguna Seca. This one was absolute carnage. You will not believe what happens at the start. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you on the grid soon.